In London, every weeknight, coverage you count on.
Well, it looks like the rain is finally out of the Delaware Valley, at least for the moment, but the chill is still here. But that means we got two today against the San Francisco Giants. Bryce Harper's going to get a chance to swing the bat a couple times in front of two different crowds as the Phils look to win their first series since the first week of April. That's exactly right. Whitey would love it. Hey, everybody, I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ruben Amaro Jr. We get set for games 2 and 3 of this series, and really good pitching matchup on paper in game 1, at least if you looked at the numbers from last year between these two guys. But the expectation is that both of them will have solid 2026s.
Both outstanding pitchers. You see the Cy Young numbers, and listen, these are guys that can really pitch. They use their sinkers extremely well. They also both have great changeups. You see the numbers across the board, and but this year it's been a little bit different because they have not pitched quite as well, not nearly as dominant. You see the 4.86 ERA for Logan Webb. That's really high. And even the 2.94 for Christopher Sanchez, that's sort of high as well. You have these expectations that these guys would dominate. Not the case so far this year.
And for Christopher Sanchez, normally when he pitches here at Citizens Bank Park, he pitches really well. But there have been occasions this year where he has given up a lot of hits. But this season, 4 starts, a 1.16 ERA.
Yeah, I mean, he's dominant here. He loves the mound. He loves pitching in front of this crowd. He gets his juices flowing. You see how emotional he gets at times on the mound, especially when he's dealing, as he normally does here at CBP.
The good news is the Phillies offense had a great game 1. Let's hope they can duplicate it in game number 2. And that would make everybody from the fanatic to the fans to Christopher Sanchez extremely happy. Game 1 of a day-night doubleheader is upon us. We'll have lineups and first pitch and get you ready when we come back. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. The Toyota Corolla is the best-selling nameplate of all time. It has 4 models under $25,000. Visit Toyota.com to get your 2026 Toyota Corolla today. By Xfinity. Get reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years and same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that. By Citizens, official bank of the Phils.
And fun for the entire family. Be there July 10th at Citizens Bank Park. Get tickets now at allstargame.com/swingman.
NBC 10 News First Alert Weather, the most accurate forecast 10 years in a row. 57 degrees. Thought it might get up into the 60s today, but it's been quite cool most of the morning. Overcast is Christopher Sanchez, who was all ready to go last night. He was just about ready to get his uniform on, get out and start warming up when the game was postponed. It turned out to be the right decision because the rain continued to fall most of the night. Started rather early. And here's Christopher Sanchez so far this year. 6 starts, 2-2, ERA of 2.94. Facing the Giants for the second time. He threw a lot of pitches in the previous outing and only allowed 2 earned runs during that outing, but 4 overall.
It didn't get a lot of help on defense, but did give up 11 hits in 5 innings, and that's a lot of knocks for him. No walks, 6 punch-outs, as you said. They did throw a lot of strikes, 68 out of 92 strikes, but he's got to stay out of the middle of the plate, which he's been prone to do over the last couple of outings.
Certainly has pitched very well here at Citizens Bank Park. First pitch of today's ball game is brought to you by Bryant, whatever it takes, and we are just about ready to go. Elliot Ramos leads it off, and the first pitch. We are underway. It's lined out toward right center field. On the run is Crawford. He's not going to get there, and it's going to go right to the wall, and Ramos will have his 7th double of the year. It's also his 4th hit this year against the Phillies as they keep trying the different leadoff batter for the Giants. And the Phillies defense brought to you by Car Shield. Has Edmundo Sosa playing third base today. All right, so right out of the gate, a leadoff double, and it brings Matt Chapman up. Chapman takes a strike, 0-1.
Chapman been struggling of late, but he has great numbers against Sanchez. 7 for 11. I mean, he's really swung the bat well against him.
Yeah, he's hit well against the Phillies aside from game 1. He was 6 for 12 in the series out in San Francisco. In game 1, though, he struck out 4 times in 4 plate appearances.
On his birthday, no less.
On his birthday. Usually guys perform better on their birthday.
Typically.
Stott keeps the runner close at second. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a changeup in there for strike 2. Probably wants that a little lower than it was. Speed is what caught him off guard a little bit.
Yeah, very good arm action as always on that pitch, but it's about the location.
Fly ball right field. Garcia venturing back. It's carrying to the wall. He jumps. It's off the top of the wall. Ramos had a hold up at second in case it was caught. And the throw in by Garcia. It's back-to-back doubles now for the Giants. And it's second and third with nobody out here in the first.
Really surprised about how far this ball carried. I mean, this ball was sort of clipped by Chapman. He was moving the runner, but the ball was driven to right field quite well. And obviously, Adolis Garcia trying to make that play. And fortunately for the Phillies, Ramos had to tag up on that situation because that's the right base running play. You got to tag up with nobody out, and could not score.
Well, you also have Arise coming up, and Arise hitting .315, one of the best contact hitters in the league. And he bounces that one foul up the first base line. It's 0-1. Hitting .315. He's a lifetime .317 hitter. He's one of only 2 active hitters who are hitting better than .300 in Major League Baseball. The other one is Jose Altuve for their careers. Bouncer over the mounds. Here comes Ramos. He'll score. And Arise picks up his 9th RBI, and the Giants take a 1-0 lead.
And Arise does his job. He double jeopardy. He moves the runner and he drives in the run. Man on third, less than 2 outs now for Schmidt.
Well, the rest of the lineup for the Giants brought to you by Xfinity. 1 internet price, 5 years guaranteed. It's the same lineup that was posted last night for the matchup against Sanchez. It includes Lee, who's dropped to the number 7 spot. And now with the infield in, Casey Schmidt is the hitter.
Kind of like this idea. I think that with the way Phillies have not really scored runs and the fact that this guy gets a lot of ground balls, I don't mind this move early in the game.
Line drive, base hit it to left field. 3 hits in the inning, and it's 2-0 Giants as Chapman crosses the plate. And Casey Schmidt now is hitting 4 of 5.
Yeah, sort of similar to what happened out there in San Francisco. And again, this is a pitch that's not that bad, but it sort of cuts. That changeup cuts into the right-hander instead of working away from him. And he pokes it into left field for a ribby.
Yeah, and this is kind of going along with some of the pattern that Christopher's had this year. I mean, the opposition is averaging over 7 hits per game against him, which is second only to Adrian Hauser of the Giants, who could possibly pitch game 2 today, but we're not totally sure.
We don't know yet.
In fact, neither team is sure who's going to pitch game 2 today.
That's right.
Devers the batter, and he bounces it right side. Stott will have only a play at first. There are 2 outs. Well, I mentioned how good Sanchez has been here at Citizens Bank Park. Well, the last 17 starts, the 1.55 ERA. In fact, the last 3 seasons, his ERA here at home is the 3rd best among pitchers at their home ballpark.
Yeah, already reached his max on 2 earned runs in a game.
Yeah, so this is it. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. No mas.
Willie Adames the batter. He's 0 for his last 24. Hitting .202 with 3 home runs this year. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. He had an amazing series out in San Francisco. He had 6 hits. It included 5 doubles. Three and 0.
Yeah, that's the pitch that Sanchez has struggled to throw for strikes. It's just off the plate, but it's an important pitch for him because if he can get that pitch more consistently and throw strike with it, it opens up the rest of the plate for him.
And ball 4. Well, Adames, who's 0 for his last 24, is thinking, man, it's going to be nice to even touch a base. As he walks, and now Marchand out to the mound. It's all happened quickly. Here comes Caleb Cotham. It's 15 pitches for Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah, I really do think that there's something going on with him mechanically that just has not been fixed yet, particularly in this first inning. But it's been happening over the last 3 or 4 starts where you see his command not quite as sharp as it had been almost all year last year, 2025. I looked at some of these numbers. The hard hit rate is not all that much higher this year than it was last year, only like 2.2% more. But he is using too much of the plate at times and walking people, which you rarely saw from the man.
Yeah, don't forget, he's got 30 consecutive starts with at least 5 innings out on the mound. That includes the postseason.
Right.
Well, here's Lee, who led off game 1 of this series. It's usually Adames that leads off, but he has struggled. Well, that's going to help. A bouncer out towards second, and Stott takes care of the inning. But in the inning,
Around the block, what you need in stock. With service so good, it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Phillies lineup brought to you by Xfinity. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Turner leads it off. The only difference from last night's that was posted is that Amundo Sosa is playing third base against Logan Webb. First pitch, take it outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
I think one of the reasons why, as Don Mattingly indicated, is that the swing path of Alec Bohm, a lot of ground balls. This guy's a ground ball pitcher. Let's mix it up on that Sosa. At least get an opportunity to play in the first game and then have Bohm probably play in the second.
Yeah, Bohm 0 for 8 lifetime against
That's right.
Logan Webb. Webb's numbers this year, as we mentioned, he was top 5 in the Cy Young voting last year, but 4.86 is not what he necessarily is used to. Outside, it's 2-1. They're going to challenge right out of the gate.
It looked off the plate to me.
I thought it was off the plate.
The catcher is challenging to call a ball.
T-Mobile gives us a look at the ABS.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bailey.
San Francisco has 1 challenge remaining.
All right, so that's 24 challenges this year for Patrick Bailey. That's a lot. And he's won only 11 of those challenges. That's not a great ratio.
No.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. Now, listen, I don't know what the right thing to do is. I really don't when it comes to the ABS. But to me, in the first inning, when you're up 2-0, is probably not the right time to do a challenge. But and now you got 1 out as that slips out of the hand of Turner.
Yeah, pretty nasty sinker, and that's exactly his best pitch. I mean, Logan Webb is known for his sinker and then drive the ball down in the zone, but you see the action, and it was pretty obvious that Trey Turner was trying to hold up on that pitch, but that just slipped out of his hands.
Kyle Schwarber, the batter. Schwarber 0 for 3 with 2 walks in game 1. Still trying to get going. He's 2 for his last 23. It's that foul. It's 0-1.
Logan Webb did throw much better in his last outing against the Dodgers. He did go 7 innings, got a tough luck loss to give up 3 runs, but he did pitch pretty darn well. I would consider that a quality start.
1-1. Did you see how the Dodgers lost yesterday?
I did not.
Bases loaded. Freddie Freeman hit into a double play that it's hard to describe as a slowly hit ball to second base. The second baseman for the Marlins fielded it with his momentum coming over to first. Ohtani decided not to go to second, and he tagged Ohtani and stepped on the bag within a matter of seconds.
Bizarre. You don't see them making too many base running mistakes.
2-2.
I was a little busy watching it. Maybe it was later, but I was busy watching the Flyers do their thing.
Uh-huh.
It might have been at the same time, but I was into it.
No, that was earlier. You could have done both.
Okay.
You could have multitasked.
I could have?
Yeah. 2-2. 3-2. Congratulations to the Flyers, by the way. Just electric last night, winning in overtime.
How about Vladar?
The whole thing was awesome.
I mean, what an effort.
Fly ball deep to right, way back there.
Oh.
It is gone. His 350th career home run, and it's a typical Kyle Schwarber Schwarbomb. And the Phils are within one. It's 2-1.
Folks, I wish you were here to hear this and to watch it. You talk about a majestic home run and how loud it came off the bat. I mean, there's a lot of those that happen here with the stadium a little bit quiet. 113 miles per hour off the bat exit velocity, and it was hit 406 feet. It could have been 506 feet. I mean, this ball was mashed. Congratulations to Kyle for his 350th of his career. Quite a milestone.
Yeah, not only is it his 350th, as we mentioned, it's his 197th as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah. And they're going to keep rolling.
He's the 5th player to hit 350 in a Phillies uniform. Harper, Ryan Howard, Jim Thome, and Mike Schmidt. Pretty cool list. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, it was like it was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, it was majestic. One ball, 1 strike. Ground ball right side. It's going to leak into right field, a base hit. No, Bryce just keeps on hitting. Just watch this ball leave the bat from Kyle Schwarber. It's everything you wanted for a power hitter.
So strong. Look at him stay on his legs and his head down. When he's doing that, it's lights out for the pitcher. I think that ball's dented on one side. I don't think there's any question about it. Yeah, thumbs up.
Good job, Kyle. Adolis Garcia, the batter. There you go, that milestone we were talking about.
Yeah, you talked about Harper keeps swinging the bat. Last 20 games, 333 with a 1.014 OPS. I mean, you talk about raking.
It's also Kyle's 51st home run in the first inning. This is kind of a cool list to put together. So the most home runs in the first inning by a Phillies player dating back to 1898. Mike Schmidt had 83. You would expect that, right? Of
course.
Jimmy Rollins 51. And now Kyle Schwarber with 51.
That's unbelievable company. I mean, the two guys have the most hits basically in Phillies history, and then Kyle Schwarber.
1-2 to Garcia with a runner at first base. Phillies down 2-1.
Wow, what an aggressive lead that Harper has.
A little slow roller right side. A rise. Throws out Garcia. Giants defense brought to you by Car Shield. Lee is playing center field today. Chapman, perennial Gold Glove winner. Bailey, Gold Glove winner.
Tony Vitello trying to mix things up because this team just hasn't really been able to put it together consistently yet, and he's just trying to find the right formula for W's.
Brandon takes outside. Marsh 1 for 3 in the opener of this series. Ooh, he kind of went down 3/4 on that. We'll take a new baseball.
He doesn't seem particularly pleased with that. Yeah, Brandon Marshall underrated. I mean, a lot of the Phillies hitters have not swung the bat all that well, but Brandon's been pretty darn consistent. Getting close to 300 and 100 plate appearances.
One and two. I don't remember him dropping down that much with the sweeper like that.
I'll have to study that a little bit.
And Marsh a swing and a miss. He's now 7 for his last 15 against right-handed pitching. Well, the Phillies do inch a little closer. Sandwiched between a couple strikeouts was the
Else can't.
2-1 as we go to the top of the second inning. The Phillies down by 1. And Gerard Encarnacion will lead it off for the Giants here in the second. First pitch in there at 94, the sinker. It's 0-1. Encarnacion hasn't played a whole lot recently. In fact, this is his first start since the 12th of April. Line drive caught by Edmundo. 1 out.
Yeah.
But they are hitting the ball hard.
Yeah, another elevated changeup that stayed in the middle of the plate. He's got to live a little bit lower in the zone than this, but he was on it. The level of concentration is fairly high.
Yeah. Patrick Bailey, the batter. 4 for his last 31. He takes strike 1.
Never been a great offensive player. He's more of a defensive guy. I know he's a switch hitter, but never really put up great offensive numbers.
Yeah, 222 last year with 6 home runs, but he really is a very good defender. 2-time Gold Glove winner. One of the better framers for catchers in Major League Baseball. Good change up there, 1-2.
Yeah, great action on that one. That one faded away to his arm side. Sometimes when he cuts across it, he'll cut that, and it'll cut in on the right-handers, which makes him a little vulnerable.
One and two. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 1. Yeah, there are 2 outs.
Yeah, back-to-back changeups that are just electric. These are very typical of what you would see of Sanchez. Stops and drops and back-to-back changeups, and he gets Bailey.
Brings Ramos up, who smoked a double to right center field his first time up. Justin Crawford has actually shifted his alignment just a little bit. He's kind of over toward right center a little bit more.
Little in-game adjustment. So the pitch prior to that was a pitch that was down that may have last year probably had gotten that pitch. And he's got such good action down in the zone that I think that he sort of gets affected by the ABS system. That, you know, when a pitcher lives down in the zone like that consistently, at some point the umpire just naturally starts giving you those pitches. The fact that the ABS system is in play now may make those pitches, 1, balls, and 2, I mean, makes it more difficult for sinker ballers. And I think that's what's happening with both of these pitchers, both Logan Webb and Christopher Sanchez, because it makes them elevate their sinkers to the point where they become a little bit more hittable.
Would you just, I mean, I'm just speculating, would you just throw it the way you used to throw it and not worry about it?
I would try not to change the way I go about it because it's been so effective.
1-2, inside 2-2.
It just feels like to me that those pitches are no longer being called by the umpire. And instead of them being rollovers to like shortstop or second base, those are now balls.
go. The pitch sequence to run the count to 3-2.
I think he's going to come back with another changeup here.
It would be his 5th of this at bat. And ball 4. It is another one. So Ramos on board twice today in 2 innings. And that is walk number 2 for Christopher, which is what Ruben alluded to, that he's giving out some free passes. Bench your mobile provider for better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile, and get Wi-Fi plus 5G that won't strike out. Xfinity. Imagine that. Chapman doubled his first time up. Ball that carried pretty well toward right field. In fact, off the bat more so than I think many people thought.
I think there's a little breeze left to right, and I think that probably helped it a little bit, but I was really surprised by how far it went.
Popped up on the infield. Harper says he has it. It's closer to first than second, and he makes the catch. No runs, no hits, a man low in connection and protection your small business can rely on. No one does business like Comcast Business. Looks like the sun is trying to pop out here at Citizens Bank Park. It's still, I would say, unseasonably cool. We're not too far off. But this game, which was supposed to be a little later this afternoon, starting at 12:35, and that young lady, her first Phillies game, welcome. Bryson Stott swings at the first pitch and sends Lee back a few strides. 1 pitch, 1 away here in the second. And it brings Edmundo Sosa to the plate. Edmundo at 263 for the year. He's hit 7 of his 10 starts, or 7 of his 10 games. He has made 3 starts now at third and 8 at second base, which is, you know, what his job is.
Yep. Probably get a couple of starts at short at some point.
Down the third base line past AC. Anthony Contreras is the third base coach as Marsh is getting his elbow wrap readjusted. They got a new one, it looks like. And how about Sosa just poking it to right field, a base hit with 1 out.
I absolutely love this base hit because there's so many hitters in this day and age that don't, you know, change their swings with 2 strikes. But all he does is try to make contact. It's a really good pitch from Logan Webb off the plate, down and away, and he just flips it into right. And, you know, that is super frustrating for a pitcher when you do that sort of thing, and it you know, can create something bigger later on in the inning.
Bet 365 provides us with the odds of Justin Crawford getting his first major league home run. Yeah, that was a really good piece of hitting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
just bat to ball skills.
I love it. It's something that's so underrated now. Ooh.
He got stuck.
He did get stuck.
He got stuck.
His wheels were spinning a little. And you see the wheels. See that left foot just came out from underneath him. He said, "Get me to this bag."
It's kind of like a belly flop into the pool.
Yeah.
Crawford's odds to hit a home run were probably the highest I think we've seen this year. But he's going to hit his first home run, major league home run at some point.
Oh, he's going to get it. This guy's got some bat speed now. You leave something soft hanging in the middle of the plate, he'll crush it.
Had an RBI single in the first game of the series.
Saw that in spring training. I mean, he can turn on some pitches. Even in the very first game, he smoked one just foul and then ends up hitting a double like dead center field. So he's got some pop. Doesn't hit the ball in the air off very often.
Bouncer back toward the middle, and it's picked off on a big pinball hop by Adames. Up to second base, Sosa. Get all the Philly sports news you need to start your day on Sportsnet Central. Every weekday morning starting at 7, presented by your Delaware Valley Hyundai dealers. By the way, speaking of news, The Flyers advancing to the next round. Hats off to JJ and his call last night on the game winner. Just outstanding. I'm so happy that they got a chance to call the first round at least of the NHL playoffs. I don't think that many people out on the Giants side of the field knew that was the third out. In particular, Encarnacion, who was practicing. The game, it's from Don Mattingly after Tuesday's win. It feels great, obviously, for us to win, not necessarily for me. This is not about how I'm going to do or whatever. It's about the club, and it's a good win for us as a team. Hopefully, this is the start of us playing better baseball. I asked Don the other day, I said, how did Louis, his youngest son, how did he respond to you taking over as the manager of the Phillies? And I thought his answer was just unbelievable, and it shows the respect that everybody has for Rob Thompson. He said, he was excited about it, obviously. He said, but he was more concerned about Rob Thompson. And Isaac was the same way. He said the same thing because, he said Rob treated them so well. They're happy for Dad, but hey, how about the other guy? He said, and I really liked that response because it showed their compassion for somebody that always went out of their way to make them feel good.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, in the open or earlier about how these guys were cut from the same cloth. I mean, these are very similar type quality human beings.
Right.
Great baseball men, but better human beings.
0-2 grounded foul by Arise.
And it's clear from what we know of Preston, having gotten to know him, obviously knowing Don Mattingly for years and years. I mean, it's a great family.
Yeah, the fact that we're playing a day-night doubleheader today, too, partial day-night doubleheader, 12:35, 5:35. And a call, strike three. Arise knew it. He doesn't strike out often. It's only the 5th time he's gone down on strikes this year. And it's the 2nd strikeout for Sanchez.
This is the glove side fastball / sinker that you want to see out of this young man. Wow. And that is just picture perfect. Hopefully he can get that feel for that pitch.
Marchand was going to challenge it because it did look like the home plate umpire, Charlie Ramos, was a little late with making the call. Swinging a ground ball to shortstop. There are 2 outs.
Gotta love those 1-pitch outs, baby.
Rafael Devers coming up. Fans 21 and older will be made in the shade when they take home a Miller Lite Phillies floppy hat Friday, June 5th at 6:40 when the Phillies host the White Sox. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com/tickets. Real quick, I wanted to get back to what I was saying about the fact that we're playing a day-night doubleheader here, and Scott Fransky actually brought this up, and it's a great point and a great reminder. I remember Rob Thompson's first year, we were playing a day-night doubleheader. And in between games, our staff here at the ballpark, they're amazing. They clean up the stands, they get everything ready for game 2. And Scott reminded me, and I totally forgot, I went back and found it, the 0-1, fouled back. Rob Thompson sent out a letter to the entire organization thanking them for making sure that the stadium was ready for game 2 after the Phillies had finished up that day-night doubleheader. Just wanted to throw that out there because we were just talking about Rob.
Well, that's who he is. I mean, the visit that he did to the front office once they did clinch
in full uniform.
Yep.
Justin Crawford runs that down. 1-2-3. Nice inning for Christopher Sanchez. Giants go down in order. He threw only 8 pitches to get through it. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Baseball is brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. By the Pennsylvania Lottery, visit PALottery.com or download the app today. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians. And by Yellowwood, pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. Trey Turner leads things off. He struck out his first time up. Swing and a miss. Today marks the anniversary of Trey reaching 10 years. Not the anniversary, it's the day he reaches 10 years of Major League service.
What a
huge
big deal.
milestone for players. I mean, only 7% of players all time reach this mark. It shows longevity. It shows consistency.
Pretty terrific.
Punches that to the right side. Arise takes the big hop, has to hurry, and does. And personally for him, I mean, he's made a lot of money during his career, but it also assures him of a lot of things for he and his family moving forward, including, health insurance for
and pension, et cetera, et cetera. He maxes out on his pension. There's no question about it. Very cool. And I just remember him playing for NC State. I just remember scouting him and watching this guy play shortstop and thinking to myself, wow, this guy's got some serious bat speed, but he's got some even more
speed.
More foot speed.
Schwarber takes way inside. Schwarber hit our giant home run replay, Ruben, earlier in this game.
Like it was shot out of a cannon, my friend. Little cutter, then it stays in the middle of the plate, and he hammered it to right. That's your giant home run replay of the afternoon.
A little low. They've already challenged one time.
A long hold from Patrick Bailey on that particular pitch. Probably thinking about whether or not he should tap his head or not.
Three 3-0. And ball 4. Schwarber works out a walk.
I mean, how many times do you see that happen? A guy hits a home run at first at bat. Pitcher doesn't feel real comfortable coming into him again, and then he walks the next time up. See that happen a lot.
He definitely looked like he was tentative, particularly when he fell behind in the count.
No doubt. I mean, the first pitch slider almost hit him in his left leg.
Harper grounds it right side. They'll at least get one. Could they turn two? They can. 4-6-3 double play. Jen Powell over at first base made that call to finish it up, and we'll go to the 4th. By Toyota. Check out Toyota.com and visit your local tri-state Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go Phils. Umpires for today's ball game include Charlie Ramos behind the plate, Chris Guccione's over at second base, and Jen Powell, who made her major league debut as an umpire last August, is in her first game here at Citizens Bank Park. We saw her first game in spring training down in Clearwater last year. Jen, who's a New Jersey native, went to Hofstra and was apparently a very good catcher in her own right when she was at Hofstra. A former art teacher, Ruben. And she'll do both ends of this doubleheader. She'll do first base in game 1, probably third base in game 2. And I got a chance to watch her walk out for the first time to see Citizens Bank Park, and she's out there with Charlie Ramos. They were going over kind of the ground rules a little bit, but I saw her walk up the stairs and look, and it was you can see her reaction to walking out for the first time and seeing the ballpark.
Yeah, wondering if she was a Phillies fan walking out and having seen this ballpark and probably visit it. Now she's working it. That's congratulations to Jen. That's really cool.
Yeah, born in West Milford, New Jersey, and went on to Hofstra. She used to umpire softball games where she made $15 a game. A little
Sounds
different
about
now.
right.
A little different now.
Sounds about right. You don't think she's making $15 right now?
She might be making $15 for breakfast in her per diem.
A pitch?
0-2. Oh, that's a good pitch. Must have been just off the plate. You at home probably had a better view than we did because we don't see the box. We just see over the top and then the replay in the middle. Swing and a miss. That is strikeout number 3 for Christopher Sanchez. I think he's found something a little bit with his changeup.
Yeah, a really good action. Actually, this is a sinker that just sort of drops off the table. I'm not sure what adjustment he's made since Caleb Cotham came out there to chat with him. But whatever it is, it's working right now, and he's real effective.
Here's Encarnacion, who lined out his first time up. That was 96-2 on the sinker, which is also good because it was 94 early in the game.
Yeah, and he's about maybe half a mile an hour slower on a sinker from last year on average, and he seems to be cutting it loose right now.
Ball bounced past the third base camera well.
Yeah, there you see the numbers. I mean, obviously, last year on that sinker, just 269. 100 points difference this year in the average alone.
How about the OPS?
Yeah.
OPS is drastically different from 674 to 963.
Again, I do believe that has something to do with the ABS. Clearly, it's about him not being able to command it quite as well in the early part of the season.
This will be his 49th pitch. Not too bad considering we're in the 4th inning with 2 outs.
No, on a solid ratio. He always throws strikes. I mean, he's always close to between 65 and 70% strike rate.
Swing and a miss. Another strikeout on the changeup. He has 4 strikeouts today. He's thrown 19 pitches in the last 2 innings combined. Considering he threw 16 in the first, it's nice to economize as the game moves on. And he's retired 7 in a row. This wrap 4th inning is brought to you by Toyota. Check out Toyota.com and visit your local tri-state Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go Phils. Phillies down 2-1. As Adolis Garcia will lead it off. He grounded out his first time up.
Ooh. Boy, he hung one of those sweepers and Adolis jumped all over it, just fouled it back.
Phillies last year played 3 doubleheaders, and they split all 3. It's the first time they played a doubleheader against San Francisco since 1992.
Wow.
Kruk had 4 hits and 7 at-bats in that doubleheader.
I bet I didn't get any hits.
Back toward the middle, off Webb, and it ricochets into shallow right field. It's a base hit.
Yes, 3 really aggressive swings from Adolis Garcia. He gets into a 2-strike count, and he just smokes this ball off the inner thigh, it looks like, of Logan Webb. Picks up his first base hit. Oh, yeah. Back of his hamstring.
Said, I'm good.
That might tighten up on him a little bit now if you hit him squarely enough.
That's career hit number 700 for Adolis. Marsh struck out his first at-bat. Came into this game hitting .329 against right-handers. And it's 0-2. Other way, that's a fair ball inside the third base bag, going into foul territory. It'll be a double for Marsh, shaking his head yes as he got to second base, thinking maybe they do all even out eventually. He also liked the new arm guard that he had on that Joe Roush gave him.
And another beautiful job of hitting. Again, 2-strike situation. You're just trying to put the ball in play. Hits it off the end of the bat. Slides it down the third base line. A little bit, and very similar to what you saw out of Edmundo Sosa earlier. Love those kind of at-bats when you're actually beaten on the pitch and you still come up with a big base hit.
Yeah, now nobody out and runners on second and third, and it's Bryson Stott who, if he hits the same ball he hit his first time up, it's a tie game.
And he would probably move the runner as well. So a couple of things to think about with this infield in. I am a little surprised that they have the infield in up 1 run in this situation. It's just a very odd way of thinking in this day and age.
0-2.
Give the hitter a chance, a lot more chances to find a hole somewhere. I mean, it's just really odd.
Wait, I know you're pontificating, but I just got some breaking news.
You did?
Yeah, in that doubleheader, you were 3 for 7 with a triple and a home run and 3 RBIs.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Knock it off.
All went uphill from there. Swing and a miss. How about that?
Wait. That's very odd that I would have had that kind of a day on that season.
Time now for our Stump the Fans trivia quiz. Our question, brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Which 2 MLB managers all-time hold the record for most Gold Gloves won during their playing career? Well, the guy in the Phillies dugout is probably got to be one of them. I would think Matheny's the other, right?
Oh, that's a good call.
I'm
Great
thinking.
call, Matheny. Boy, he could catch. He really could catch.
Including for the Giants.
Yep.
0-1 to Sosa. Infield not all the way in.
That's,
thank you. 0-2.
Yeah, not the best at bat from Stott. You really wanted some contact in that situation anywhere on the field, and that punch out was big for Webb, and yeah, that's something that Stott's just got to be better at in those situations, and now it's up to Sosa to try to put this ball in play.
He did put it in play, hits it to third. Chapman's coming home, and they get Garcia. That's why he's a platinum winner. He kept the clock moving slowly.
Really well struck ball. I mean, it's a sinker after getting a base hit to right the last time up at 2 strikes. He hits an absolute bullet. But Chapman is so good over there. And actually, Adolis Garcia got a heck of a jump on that ball. It was just hit too hard, and Chapman's just too good of a defender.
Here's Crawford, who shows bunt, bunts it toward third. That is a thing of beauty. Bases are loaded now for Marchand. Boy, what a weapon if he can do this. Even if the guy's in, he's beating that out.
Yeah. Great bunt there. I would love to have had Marsh at third base in that situation. With Adolis Garcia going, he probably should have been in third base. Would have had first and third. That bunt creates probably a base hit and an RBI, but you know, those are the things that the Phillies have to tighten up.
Marchand takes low. It's 1-0.
And I do think Adolis Garcia did the right thing. He's got to try to score on that ball. Ball hit on the ground. He's got to go. And I just feel like Marsh should have been at third base after that play was over.
Pulled on the ground over to first. Devers. And he runs halfway to first. In the other hand, the Phillies had 2 on with nobody out. 2 in scoring position with nobody out, and they did not score. This Wirecam view is brought to you by Comcast Business. Ruben and I are mulling over the trivia question. It's not Mike Matheny, apparently.
So I'm just trying to think of guys who could catch the baseball, who were managers. Maybe with the Phillies. Maybe.
Outside to Patrick Bailey.
Could be Larry Boa. Could be Bob Boone.
Not Bob Boone. Larry keeps shaking his head.
Did Richie Ashburn ever manage?
He's not nodding his head. He's shaking his head. 2-0.
It's going to drive me nuts.
Well, we'll eventually get the answer.
Well, we keep guessing wrong, yeah. At some point, we'll get it.
2-0 to Bailey, who struck out. And that one's hit out to left. Hit pretty well. Marsh going back out toward the wall. He leaps up. He makes the catch as he slams into the wall. One away. A galloping leap by Brandon Marsh. Now that is our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Toughest play to make as a left fielder. I can tell you firsthand that the ball directly over your head on the line to get back and to make that play, that is your Hyundai defensive play of the game, and Sanchez digging it.
Well, he's retired 8 in a row. Ramos has been on base twice. Takes strike one. It's 0-1.
Well, it's not Charlie Manuel because he had a bat, and that's it.
We're still thinking about it.
Because he didn't. Yeah, he had a.
It's not Chuck, no.
His glove was not his thing.
Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it.
You do?
Yep, I got it. Back toward the middle, base hit into center field. Yeah, I got it. You should have it also.
Well, I know Wino has one.
No,
I don't
it's
know
not
if
him.
He's interim manager at some point.
Not him.
Valiant effort here by Stott. Can't grab it.
All right, Matt Chapman now the batter. That was ends 8 in a row, retired by Christopher. Change up outside. I actually think we should be ashamed of ourselves that we didn't have it. But we have it now.
Now I don't even want to know what it is.
You're going to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm going to be very ashamed. I'm certain of it.
Inside, 2-0.
Got to keep an eye on Elliot Ramos. Looks a little runnerish over there.
He has not stolen a bag yet this year. Ooh, 3-0. Ball 4. That's the third walk issued by Christopher. Turn the lights up. It's City Connect Friday when all fans will take home a Brady plus Christopher Sanchez bobble figurine on Friday, May 22nd, when the Phils host the Guardians. Secure your seats for this popular giveaway at Phillies.com. I knew that would come back and haunt me at some point.
Oh, my goodness. You are kidding. Look at you. What a pose.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Chelsea just said in my ear, here's Vanna White. And I'm like, what do you mean Vanna White? It was very comfortable sitting on the grass, though.
You look gorgeous.
Sorry, Jeremy. Joe Kennedy did a little repair today on one of the bobbleheads here in the booth.
He did a little work.
Arise the batter, and Arise sends it out to center field. It's not deep. Crawford is in. A little pitter patter before he makes the catch. 2 outs.
Kind of love that first pitch out on Arise. Arise hasn't had a ton of success against Sanchez, so he's trying to jump on that pitch, but big at bat right here to try to keep it at a 1-run game.
Yeah, Casey Schmidt is 1 for 2. He had an RBI single his first time up. Inside, 1-0. Interesting, he's fighting his mechanics a little bit on this.
Yeah, he was in sync for a couple of innings and really dealing, and then all of a sudden in this inning, for whatever reason, just a little off kilter a bit.
The good news is that he's progressed enough where he can figure it out and adjust himself. Yeah, that was low. Oh, Christopher's challenging this one.
The call on the field is ball. The pitcher is challenging.
All right, so here we go. Our first ABS challenge for the Phillies today. Yeah, it was low. Ooh. It was close.
It is a ball. Philadelphia has 1 challenge remaining.
Thank you, Charlie. That's the pitch you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's the pitch right down there, and often the umpire will call that pitch a strike, especially if he's living down there consistently. But not this year.
Yeah, Charlie's been good today. The 2 challenges against him, the teams, the Giants and the Phillies, have lost. 3-1, runners lead off. 3-2.
A couple of quality sinkers. See if he comes back with another one.
With a 1-run game, Giants take their lead. Ball hit on the ground, soft-footed shortstop, right between the legs of Ramos. And they just get Schmidt, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, a couple men left. Middle of the 5th inning. Little pitcher's duel going on here in South Philly. Updates brought to you by FanDuel. And for Trey Turner to record a hit in his 3rd plate appearance, it's at -120. Phillies have just gone quiet again with runners in scoring position. In fact, they had 2nd and 3rd and nobody out in the last half inning in the 4th, and they just didn't score.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff that cannot happen in that situation. I know it's the lower part of the lineup, but they got to put together better at bats with men in scoring position just to make better contact. That Stott at bat, we talked about it earlier. That was a big one.
1-1 to Trey. Trey is struck out. He's grounded out to second base.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's off his foot.
Well, he is not seeing that sinker out of his hand. I mean, it's obvious he had a sort of a check swing punch out where the bat went flying, and that pitch came close to hitting him almost before it hit him in the foot. So far inside that it hits on his back leg.
Swing and a miss. And Trey out front of that one. 4 strikeouts for Webb. Well, Kyle Schwarber has accounted for the Phillies' only run, and he is one of the fastest players to 350 career home runs. Well, I don't think anybody's going to catch Aaron Judge. I mean, that's just bullet fast at 1,088 games. Right. But on the same list that includes Albert Pujols, Harmon Killebrew, Alex Rodriguez, Juan Gonzalez, McGuire, and Aaron Judge. Babe Ruth. It took Babe longer. Now he was pitching too. At one
Still,
point.
I mean, the most prolific home run hitters in the history of the game, and you're looking at one right here.
Ryan would have been on that list, Howard, if he had not gotten hurt.
No doubt.
Because he was on every other list of the fastest to this, fastest to that.
Yep.
2-0 to Schwarber. 3-0.
He doesn't want any part of this guy.
Like this, I found the guy in the order that I don't want to.
Yeah, this is not the guy I want to have beat me.
After 7 straight balls to Kyle Schwarber, he throws him a strike. And ball 4. Kyle walks for the second time. And it opens the door for Harper to bat with a runner at first. He grounded into a double play his last time up. Our Citizen Stats leaders, the highest OPS this month. Harper's on that list. I got to tell you, I've watched a little of Ben Rice's swings. Man, he's got a pretty sweet swing, too.
Oh, he sure does. Got a lot of leverage with that swing, too.
Bouncer back towards short. It could be another double play. Adames steps on the bag, and Harper hits into a double play for the second time today. Now he's induced 6 double plays. Webb has, and a couple here today. Harper. Bryce reached a career milestone with a 389-foot blast off Grant Holmes, solidifying himself as the 10th left-handed hitter in Major League history to achieve 800 extra base hits before turning 34. Bryce Harper's excellence is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now the Phillies trail at 2-1. Oh man, how about that shot right there?
Oh my goodness.
Is that not awesome?
The best.
Huh?
Philly fan for life.
That's right. Wonder what's going on behind me here.
Clapping? I think he sees a Philly fanatic somewhere. Or she.
Gonna say she probably.
Probably she.
Yeah. Ground ball out towards second.
Thank you very much.
Stott to his left. Devers retired as we begin the 6th inning. And Willie Adames coming up. All right, well, again, we talked about this 5 innings or more for Christopher Sanchez. He has reached that number yet again. It's an unbelievable run of consistency for him. Adames, I don't know what he thought about that one.
I don't think he saw that ball out of his hand very well.
I thought it was coming in his kneecaps. Oh, 0-2. Yeah, the other part of this too is that Christopher threw 16 pitches in the first inning, and we wondered, well, could this streak of 5 innings or more end? Because that he was down 2-0. He wasn't fooling anybody, but then all of a sudden he's only at 70 pitches.
Yeah, really efficient.
Sure, Don's happy about that. Mark Loewy's assistant pitching coach happy about that. Swing and a miss. That was nasty. 5 strikeouts for Christopher.
You talk about filthy. I mean, this is, it looked like a curveball almost. It had so much action. That is vintage Sanchez on his changeup.
Yeah, think about it too. He's allowed 4 hits today. Only 1 since the first inning. And that's why Lee is showing bunts.
I don't blame him.
With 2 outs here in the 6th inning. He's grounded out and he is struck out. I have no idea why. But Orion Kerkering is warming up in the bullpen. (18 of 24 first pitch strikes). 1-2 strikes to Lee. And he hits it foul. It remains 1-2. Yeah, he's locked in a pitcher's duel right now. I mean, he's pitched really well. Webb has pitched really well. Those 2 double plays that Webb has gotten have really helped him.
Yeah, they sure have. They're both pitching a lot more like themselves.
Yes, very much so. And the 1-2 again to Lee. Outside, 2-2. Yeah, pretty close. Swing and a miss. He got him flailing. And Sanchez continues to roll with some dominance since that first inning. 6 strikeouts. Watch the action on this pitch that dictates the action on that swing. Shield. It's as easy as call, drive, and save. And by Nissan, every Nissan is designed for people who refuse to settle for less. Visit nissanusa.com or your local dealer. Along with Ruben tomorrow, I'm Tom McCarthy here at Citizens Bank Park. That man hit his 350th career home run. The problem is the guy on the mound is just quieted the Phillies when they have runners on base. As Garcia leads it off, Phillies need at least a run here.
Yeah, they had their opportunity in the 4th inning, and they just couldn't capitalize, unfortunately. And now they got to try to build an inning.
It's 1-1. Phillies are 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Inside, it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Out to center field, Lee. Oh, he misread it, but he's able to recover. I shouldn't say misread it. It's one of those that when it's hit right at you as a center fielder or whatever, it kind of knuckled in an odd way.
Yeah, I mean, it was hit very, very well, and that's the toughest play to field. I mean, on the ball's hit directly at you, you have to, and the ball looked like it was knuckling, actually, and it does move the ball around, and so he stayed with it. Made a pretty good play.
108.9 off the bat. And Marsh is the batter. It's 1-0. Or excuse me, 0-1. Wishful thinking that it was 1-0, but now it's 0-2.
Again, Chapman way off the line still, and last time Marsh was in this situation, he poked one down the left field line for a double. See if he can do it again.
Poked foul. Again hit foul.
He might need some new lumber. It sounded like
it did sound weird. Swing and a miss. Got him way out front. That's 5 strikeouts for Webb. And Bryson Stott's coming up.
And Webb gets Marsh for the second time. Pretty nasty changeup. A lot of good action on that pitch as well. So many similarities between these guys on the mound here today.
Stott takes inside. Ruben, did you have a snack today at all? Any kind of snack today?
I had a little bit of a cookie.
All right.
I did have a cookie.
I want to say hello to the kids who are having snack at Orchard Hill Elementary School.
Oh.
It's where Maggie teaches, my daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're having snack right now, and they're watching the fight in Phil's.
They're watching and listening to you.
Yeah, well, you too.
Well, okay.
What's up, kids?
That snack time was always like my favorite time. That and recess. Right?
Did like recess. Didn't like when recess was inside, though, because you played like silent ball or something like that.
No. I like kickball. Kickball was my game.
Greg Farnese's got some friends out there. Greg and the Galapagos gang.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand. That ball fouled off of Stott's foot.
Speaking of Galapagos, when I was coming back from the Galapagos Islands while I was hanging out with the Fanatics friends, I was actually did an interview with the Miami Marlins to become their first base coach. The manager at the time,
Dandy Don. Really?
Didn't get the job. Thought I was getting a job. I talked to Don. I thought I was getting a job, and they gave it to Billy Hatcher.
You should have stayed with Iggy and the rest of the
I should have hung out with them. It would have been a much better time than coming back and having an interview.
Farnese, Greg, what's going on with Iggy out there? Is he meeting and greeting? Got a boy.
Yeah, he got a low 5.
2-2. And a strike 3 called. Inning is over. Nothing across for the Phils. We go to the 7th. Honda dealers. Christopher Sanchez, outstanding for 6 innings. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Logan Webb, equally as good, if not a little bit better, because he's only allowed the 1 run. And the Phillies have struggled with runners in scoring position today.
Yeah, sort of the theme of the season so far, and they just haven't been able to come up with the situational hitting that's necessary to pick up the runs they need.
Encarnacion leads it off, and they're going to challenge that first pitch.
Call on the field is ball. The catcher is challenged.
Phillies have 1 challenge left. Well, here you go. It was a strike.
It is a strike. Philadelphia has 1 challenge remaining.
Well into the strike zone.
Yep. Rolled over on 1 to shortstop. And Turner throws him out. 1 away. 1 out here in the 7th inning. He's got another run going here, Ruben. This is 6 in a row. He had 8 in a row earlier in the game. He's only allowed 1 hit since the first inning. And again, the Phillies are possibly going to have a bullpen. Well, they're going to have a bullpen game in game 2. So I would just let him roll.
Absolutely, and he's thrown the ball super efficiently well. Doesn't look like he's stressing very much.
Not at all. Aside from that first inning, because the Giants had the first 2 runners in scoring position.
Right.
Home Depot working on a win. That runs inside. Since 2025, the Phillies, when a starting pitcher throws 7 innings or more, they have 32 wins. One and 2. Kerkering continues to warm up in the bullpen. I wonder if it's for Ramos, because he's been on base 3 times against Sanchez. And maybe it's if, let's say, Bailey gets on. Got him. Foul tip. 7 strikeouts. Here comes Don Mattingly.
Yeah, nasty. Again, a filthy changeup, and
A little surprised by Don coming out and taking him out. I know that Ramos, as you said, has had really good at-bats against him. I don't think that Sanchez is particularly happy about it, but he's the manager. He's making the move.
Yeah, it's only a 1-run game. Christopher Sanchez will leave after 6 2/3. Outstanding here this afternoon. Here comes Kerkering. Way to Citizens Bank Park. The matchups include Monday, May 18th at 6:40, Tuesday the 19th at 6:40, and then Wednesday, May 20th, it's Citizens Weather Education Day, presented by NBC 10 News, First Alert Weather. Visit Phillies.com to purchase your tickets today. Well, Ryan Kerkering is on to face Elliot Ramos. Ramos is 2 for 2. First pitch a strike. It's 0-1. Fouled off.
Really like the way the ball's been coming out of this guy's hand. He's throwing with a lot of confidence, spinning it really well, but the fastball has been 98, 99 miles an hour every once in a while, and obviously throwing a lot of confidence right now.
Sanchez, by the way, only 85 pitches, retired 14 of his last 16 hitters. You mentioned it's obviously the Don's decision, and that's fine. It's the manager's decision. But I'm surprised. I really thought they'd let him go, particularly since you're using a bullpen game in Game 2. Because I would think that Kerkering, unless he pitches here and then, doesn't come back out, I guess he could pitch again in Game 2. I don't know. Many managers shy away from that.
It doesn't happen too often.
Sanchez wasn't happy, though. He shook his head as he walked off the mound.
Not pleased. And I like that about him.
Oh, yeah.
He wants the baseball.
1-2 is hit in the air to right field. It's not deep. Garcia comes in. He's going to get under it. And he makes the catch. 1-2-3 go the Giants here in the 7th inning. It's time to stretch and get some runs. Christopher Sanchez this afternoon. It's been a really cool pitcher's duel. Drew Gilbert comes on to play center field. They'll move Lee from center field over to right field. So they try to get a little better defensive outfield. Encarnacion has a good arm, but these guys are better going after the baseball.
No doubt. Time for the Phillies to bust open here.
Yeah, here's Edmundo Sosa to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch in there. It's 0-1.
Very rarely do you actually get two pitchers in a matchup like this to pitch the way they've pitched, but
got to credit them too.
0-2. That was one of the better sinkers that you'll see as an example, because it's down and in to the right-handed hitter. If he makes contact, he'd be hard pressed to get it anywhere.
And that's what's made that's been sort of the bread and butter for him, particularly against the righties. He's so good against.
What a 2.
But Mundo Sosa's had a couple pretty good at bats, and you flip that one base hit to right and then a bullet to third base. Unfortunately, Chapman made a nice play on it with bases men on base.
Grounded foul. Phillies have had success against Logan Webb up until today. 3 starts, 21, 22, 24. 16 innings pitched, 5 home runs allowed.
It has been some time. It has been some time since they faced him. I didn't face him last year.
Oftentimes that sort of goes, the advantage goes to the pitcher.
Another one hit foul.
Really good battle here from Sosa. He's got a couple of very tough sinkers, as you said, Tom.
It's sharply to third, gobbled up by Chapman. Now a quick word from FanDuel Casino.
FanDuel Casino has 5 Huff and Puff games that'll blow you away. With houses of stick and brick bringing bigger, badder jackpots. Your home for thrills is the home of Huff and Puff. New players get 500 bonus spins plus up to $1,000 back in casino bonus.
Crawford is 1 for 2. He bunted his first time up. Look how far in Matt Chapman is at third base. I mean, you very rare. He's farther back now than he was when this at bat started. You very rarely see third baseman begin where he began, and that one's off the hands, floated into right field, a base hit for Crawford.
It is amazing how oftentimes when hitters are struggling just a little bit, that just a drag bunt or a push bunt like he had in his previous at bat picks you up a little bit. This ball's hit basically on the trademark, but he gets enough on it to flip it out to right field and over Luis Arraez's head, and Phillies have some action. See if he considers trying to steal this bag.
5th multi-hit game of the year for Crawford. First pitch is low to Marchand. I think Bailey debated on whether he wanted to challenge that.
And Logan Webb really quick to the plate, and Bailey does throw the ball well, so I don't know that he'll move him unless he has some cover, meaning maybe a hit and run, something like that. You'll often do that when you're down a run, but who knows, maybe Don Mattingly will shake it up. There's Don.
There he goes. Oh, he stumbled.
Yeah, it was a hit and run. That's exactly what he did. And you're right, he didn't get a great jump, but in a hit and run situation, you just got to make sure he does go to home. Didn't get a super jump.
One ball and one strike. There he goes again. Pitch is swung on and missed. The throw to second base. It's a quick release. He's out at second. That was an excellent throw by Bailey.
Yeah, you talk about a quick release, and it was a high throw, but again, Logan Webb very quick to the plate, and wow, super athletic move and a great tag by Adames to get him on the back before he gets into the bag.
Boy, he just got him.
Yep.
I like the fact, though, that they're putting him in action.
That's okay.
Yep. 1-2. Ground ball over to first. And Devers has it. 3-1 on the putout. And the side is retired. No runs, one hit, and a man left. We have 7 in the books. We'll go to the 8th. The Phillies down 1. Play.com. And by Rally House, your city, your house, Rally House, Philadelphia. Game 1 of the stay night doubleheader. We go to the 8th inning, and Orion Kirkery will keep on keeping on. Two runs on 4 hits. Just 4 hits today for the Giants. 3 of them came in the first inning. He finished the line on Christopher Sanchez. He was very good this afternoon. 6 2/3, 4 hits, the 2 runs, yes. He wound up striking out 7 this afternoon. And Chapman takes outside.
Certainly more like the Sanchez that we've been accustomed to seeing. Nice job by him, and 18 straight home starts of 5+ innings or more with 2 earned runs or less allowed. That, I mean, that's an astonishingly consistent pitcher.
2-0 to Chapman. 2-1. That was right on the line. Well, just 2 Phillies pitchers since 1912, when they started tracking earned runs, have had 30 or more starts and 5 innings or more on the mound. A little check swing.
Way.
Oh, wow. Base hit into right field. And have allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in a 37 home start span. It's Christopher and Grover Cleveland Alexander.
You're kidding.
That is crazy. And now Arraez.
You talk about unlucky in this last at bat from Chapman. I mean, he basically just stuck his bat out there and it flipped over Bryce Harper.
He shows bunt, takes high. They're going to challenge that one. The Phillies are.
The call on the field is the ball. The catcher is challenging.
Look at ABS. And it's a ball. Phillies are out of challenges.
It is a ball. Philadelphia is out of challenges.
Not particularly close there, Tom.
No. 8 of 15 now for Marchand. One and one. Time for our Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer, brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Which two MLB managers all time hold the record for most Gold Gloves won during their playing
It's a
career?
little embarrassing. It's a lot.
He showed
Ooh,
bunt.
I think he may have offered that.
Oh, no, they said he didn't. 2 and 1. So Don Mattingly is 1.
And I did not get this, and I should have, since I did hire the man. Mr. Sandberg, God rest his soul.
Hey, Bob Boone's on that list too. We were close.
Still.
That man was a gifted first baseman.
Oh.
Gifted beyond gifted. Arise, who struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Upstairs 3-2. The last 4 seasons he has struck out looking now 10 times in 2,084 plate appearances.
And yet this guy couldn't get a contract till super late. I just don't understand that this type of player is just not valued in this day and age.
Runner goes, ball's hit in the air to center field. Crawford crosses over. And he makes the catch.
I don't get it.
Well, it does seem like he might have been able to sign elsewhere, but would have to play first base, not second base, where he really wanted to play. That's why he signed with the Giants.
I mean, listen, he's not a gifted fielder necessarily. He's pretty just solid, but he doesn't have great range in the middle of the field, so I can understand why some teams would not want him to do that, but he could DH. I mean, this is a guy that just moves innings along. Good situational hitter.
They've been really happy with his defense, though, this year. No errors and 123 chances coming into today's game.
He's not a liability.
No.
By any stretch.
That one's out towards center. It's not hit that hard. Crawford froze for a moment. He'll play it on one hop. And it'll put runners on first and second with one out.
A couple of really soft hits from the Giants here in this inning. Check swing by Chapman to right field, and then this ball off the end of the bat by Schmidt. And here comes Don Mattingly.
He's got the lefty Tim Meza warming up in the bullpen. So a pitching change for the Phils. We'll be back. CUs are about to make history in Philadelphia at the MLB All-Star Week, continuing a legacy that runs deep. Catch the HBCU Swingman Classic, hosted by Ken Griffey Jr. at Citizens Bank Park on July 10th. Visit allstargame.com for tickets. It is Tanner Banks who's coming in, his 12th ball game, with Rafael Devers.
And Tanner Banks has struggled against lefties this year. I mean, it's not typical of what he does, but lefties hitting .438 with a 1.063 OPS against him.
Yeah, 7 for 16 against him, and last year they hit a .175 against him.
Yeah, very strange. He just hasn't been able to execute the same way, and someone who was particularly reliable last year in this situation.
1 ball, no strikes, and Devers went around 1-1. Just about location in a lot of ways.
Yep.
That's down a left field line, slicing out of play, and it's 1-2.
That's a really good spot for that fastball. I got to believe he's going to try to flip in a couple of breaking balls to get him to chase again. after him. Seen the Phillies try to elevate some fastballs against Devers, especially up and away. For some reason, I think they think that's one of his holes.
Well, he's 0 for 6 in the series. Swing and a miss. He got him. His last home run was against the Phillies in San Francisco. And fortunately, he is still quiet here.
Goes to the breaking pitch here. Devers pulling off of it.
And Willie Adames, the batter, he's walked. He's 0 for 2. Fouls it back. Now this is big right here to get Adames. Keep it in a 1-run game.
Yeah, not the perfect matchup, but you know he's got to go. He has to pitch. Got to either finish this inning or face 3 hitters. Oh, good spot. Unfortunately, they don't have any challenges left, and so they can't challenge it.
Yeah, out of challenges. Everybody saw that was right on the line. Oh, that's a good pitch.
Filthy.
Went right off of Mike Lecision's camera down there near the on-deck circle. Fortunately, Mike had the camera to protect him. Otherwise, it would have been problematic for him. Michael, got to make that play. Fly ball out towards shallow center field. Stott is backpedaling. He's under it, and he makes the catch. Good job by Tanner Banks to get these last 2 hitters. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order is due up for the Phils. Bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order is due up. It's 2-1 Giants. Trey Turner's leading it off, and Yellowwood bringing the lumber. Trey has reached base safely in 15 consecutive games. 26 total bases. Now he's 0 for 3 today. It's the 7th time in the last 2 games he has led off an inning, and the 4th time today. And Eric Miller, the left-hander, delivers a strike, the former Philly prospect. And it's 0-1. Check swing. No swing, says Jen Powell.
Eric Miller, good stuff, but he has a tendency to walk some people. Got to be a little patient, even though he's got great stuff. We got to make sure he throws strikes.
He has 6 walks so far this season. Left hit foul into the upper deck. Smoked into the upper deck and came right back down. Sorry, fellas. It was right there. Ooh. Ouch. Fingers. One and two. 2-2.
Yeah, you see a lot of misfires from him. At times, this is one of those guys that's sort of effectively wild, you know? Been pretty good the last 6 outings, though. His last 6 outings, 6 in the 3rd innings, just 2 hits and no runs allowed.
Oh, this is a good bullpen. 3rd in Major League Baseball in ERA at 3.03. 2nd in the National League.
Yep.
4th in MLB, an opponent's batting average against. 2-2. Fouled off to the right. strike 3 called. Now Trey thinks it's off, but they don't have a challenge left, so there's nothing they can do about it. And I think he's right. If you look at this, look at the box. Yeah, it's off. It's close. But again, there's no challenge left.
It's either said that's no way or it's so in.
Outside to Schwarber. Schwarber's accounted for the only run for the Phillies. He homered his first time up. He's walked twice. Oh, they have a challenge left. That looked like it might have been a little off the plate.
Yeah, they're going to be awfully careful with Kyle Schwarber. I mean, and rightfully so.
That's why. He just missed it.
Bet Kyle would like to have that one back. Good swing on it, just fouled it back.
Does he give him anything good to hit here? 3-1?
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to challenge him, but it would be foolish in my mind.
Bounced over to first base. Miller's late to get over there, and Schwarber is just barely out. The feed was a little lollipop from Devers. It was close.
Yeah, Devers playing really, really deep because he's playing in a no double situation, and he sort of flipped it over there. Doesn't play, it's only not a lot of experience playing first base. Close play, but Schwarber tries to beat it out, just can't get there.
Well, Tony Vitello is coming out with the athletic trainer for the Giants. I don't know if Miller did something here. A lot of times they give the pitcher a little bit of a breather when he has to go cover like this. There might be a little bit more there, though. They immediately pop a right-hander up in the bullpen. Ryan Walker. It looks like Miller's going to stay in. Well, he gave a thumbs up. All right, now it's Harper with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Harper's hit it to 2 double plays. He's also singled today.
Yeah, they need a little late inning heroics here. See if Bryce can come through. Harper's 1 for 2 against Miller with a couple walks. Drops in. A pretty nasty 2-0 slider. That's not the pitch you want to swing at in that situation.
Two and two.
Really tough pitch for Bryce to lay off of, but works it to a 3-2 count.
And now the 3-2 pitch. Line foul.
Yeah. But the flag's blowing pretty hard to right field. You get one up into that jet stream, you might tie this ball game up.
Off the hands, out towards shallow left. Adames is there, and the inning is over. And the Phillies go down 1-2-3 in their half of the 8th inning. We'll go to the 9th. It's a 1-run Giants lead. Xfinity, imagine that. By Citizens, official bank of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. Learn more at IBX.com. Now we go to the top of the 9th inning. It's just a 2-1 lead for the Giants. They'll start against Tanner Banks, and the first pitch to Lee is in there. It's 0-1. Lee is grounded out. He is struck out twice. Opposite way. Marsh going back. Ball's carrying pretty well, and he makes the catch. So 1 out. Gilbert will bat, so they'll keep Banks in for Gilbert. And then I don't know what they'll do if they get Gilbert out, because you've got Bailey in the on-deck circle, so it depends on which way you want him to bat. Gilbert was quiet in game 1. Oop. They call that a sword, Ruben?
He wasn't prepared to swing at that too well, I don't
Ninja
think.
calls it a sword.
Yep.
Up high, 1-1. Phillies in their half of the 9th inning. Garcia, Marsh, and Stott. Those are the scheduled hitters. It looks like it'll be Ryan Walker, who will pitch for the Giants. 1-2.
I don't think Gilbert cared for that call very much.
Yeah, and I know the box is not in for the folks at home. A little technical difficulties from Major League Baseball, but it looked like it was close. Sugart warming up in the bullpen. And a strike 3 called. What a job by Tanner Banks. 2 strikeouts. And it looks like they'll stay with him here. Every time a Phillies pitcher like Tanner records a pitch speed of 95 or more, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Bailey's 0 for 3, 4 for his last 34. He did drive one of the track in left. Look out, Matty. It went right between Matty and Morgan.
Morgan cat-like. He could have eaten that ball.
Matt would have eaten it also. Oh, 0-2. Boxes pop back in. Michael and Ben Davis are standing by for Phillies post-game live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. They'll get you ready for game 2 as well, which is coming up at 5:30 Eastern time. To the first base side, off the glove. It took a bad hop off Harper's glove, and into right field, a base hit. So a 2-out single, and Ramos is coming up. Let's see what Don does here. You got Sugart warming up. Oh, Caleb Cotham's coming out, so Tanner's going to stay in. Good look from wire cam right there. It took that weird hop.
Yeah, tough play from driving this ball to the right side. It sort of surprised Harper maybe a little bit.
Hopped up on it.
Oh, that's a cool outfit.
Well, with the sun out right now, too.
Yeah.
It's a really good time to have one. Is there a bad time, though?
Nope.
I love that fit right there.
Yeah. Our veterans.
2 old cronies just chilling.
Yep.
3 of them.
All right, so after the visit, it's Ramos. Ramos has 2 hits today. He's doubled, he's singled, he walked, and he flied out to right field. Upstairs.
Yeah, a little surprised that Sugar's not in here in this situation.
Yeah, you have the 2 right-handers.
2 right-handers. I mean, you got a right-hander going.
Two and 0. Now you got to be careful, and only because of the way Ramos has swung today. Mm, 2-1. Nice tight spin on the slider.
Tell you, Don Mattingly's showing a lot of confidence in Tanner Banks.
Oh, yeah.
And Tanner's been struggling a little bit, but throwing the ball pretty well so far here today.
That one's out toward right center field. It's going to drop in for a hit. It wasn't hit necessarily that hard, but Bailey's going to get to third, and that's the 3rd hit of the day for Ramos. So first to third with 2 outs.
Get another ball that's not hit all that hard, but you put it right in the right spot.
I would think he's going to come out. Now here comes Don. So Sugar's going to come in to face the right-hander Matt Chapman. So we'll have a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies down by 1. Try to keep it that way when we return. NBC 10, local news and weather from your home team every weeknight. That's coverage you can count on. Chase Sugart is the new pitcher for the Phils. 8th ball game for Chase, who's had a really nice fastball so far this year. 7 strikeouts and 7 2/3. He's got a tough customer in Chapman.
Done a nice job, especially in the last 5 games. I mean, he hasn't given up any runs. 4 strikeouts, just 1 walk.
Well, you have a guy now that has some of the best numbers with runners in scoring position in Major League Baseball in Chapman. And Chapman hitting .462.
Wow.
Second best in Major League Baseball. 5 for 9 against the Phillies this year. And that's a big run over at third. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-1. I mean, these first 2 pitches are any indication. He's got Chapman a little jumpy.
We'll take that.
Yeah, got the bat, and it's 1-2.
Sugar's got a pretty good life to that fastball. Good movement to it, especially up in the zone that you saw that pitch. Just clips that barrel a little bit. Gets him to 2 strikes.
1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. That's huge. Sugart comes in and gets the last out and keeps this in a 1-run game. And a clap of the glove after he wrapped it all up against a nasty hitter in Matt Chapman. Time now for our turning point, brought to you by Toyota Camry. We go back to the first inning against Christopher Sanchez. This little bouncer over the mounds. That brought home Ramos.
In a And then another base hit to left, and really he wasn't super sharp in the first inning. Didn't look like he was right where he wanted to be. They picked up a couple of runs, and that was your Toyota Camry turning point of the afternoon.
Well, he did pitch well, though, today. 6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs. Logan Webb, though, was just a hair better. 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 run. And now Ryan Walker will pitch the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phillies down by 1, and Adolis Garcia the batter. First pitch inside.
A heavy sinker slider combination, and then that very funky delivery where he basically steps all the way across to the third base side, and it's tough on right-handers.
The reminder: the Phillies have no challenges left ABS-wise. Christopher Sanchez used 1. Rafael Marchand missed on 1. Two 2-0. Garcia 1 for 3 today. Well, that looked inside. And now it's 2-1.
Yeah, it's not an automatic, and it's a pitch you just can't get a miss from your umpire. But again, they ran out of their challenges.
Back toward the middle. Diving stop by a rise from a knee. Not in time. Second hit of the day for Garcia, and the tying run is aboard.
Not an easy task against Ryan Walker with that crossfire, and a couple of really good swings. His second base hit up the middle, and this is a guy who's starting to really swing the bat well for the Phillies. Heck of a play by Arise. No real chance once he fielded this ball when he went to the turf. I mean, for him to be able to throw him out, it's a big base runner.
A short lead at first. Here's Brandon Marsh. And Marsh, ooh, good swing, and he fouls it back. It's 0-1.
He almost sent him home happy with that swing.
Yep. Phillies are 1-19 this year when trailing after 8 innings. This would be a fantastic come from behind victory. They're going to challenge that one. It looked like a good pitch.
The call on the field was a ball the catcher is challenging.
Yeah, I think Bailey got this one right. So we'll take a look along with everybody else. He did get it right.
It is a strike. San Fran has 1 challenge remaining.
Nice use of abbreviation. It's 0-2. Opposite way, and it'll go foul, slicing out of play.
Just saw Luis Arise swing over to his left a couple of steps to try to cover up that 4-hole just a little bit. Love to see Brandon Marsh hook one into that hole over there. See the alignment?
Off his foot. Michael and Ben are standing by for Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Oh, I hope they have a lot of good things to talk about.
Yeah, that'd be fun. A couple of really good swings from Brandon Marsh. Just fouling some balls back. Looks like he's seeing the ball pretty well against this guy. Again, just a sinker slider, basically.
And a strike 3 call. No challenge left for Brandon. Third strikeout for Marsh. Let's take a look. Look at the box. Good pitch.
Nasty pitch. Just far too close for you to take in that situation with 2 outs. Or, excuse me, with 2 strikes. Now it's up to Bryson Stott to try to pick him up.
Chapman in on the grass at third. Tried to pull that pitch. It was on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was trying to drive this ball out of the ballpark. That's really not his game. His game is using the entire field, and it's part of what has been a little bit of an issue for Bryson Stott of late. And sometimes he collapses on that backside and on that back knee to try to lift the baseball, and that sort of takes him out of his swing.
2 balls, 1 strike to Stott with a runner at first. Phillies down 2-1. He tried to check his swing. He went. It's 2-2. Take a look at the side swing.
And Bryson committing here.
Try it again.
Working almost exclusively away on Stott. At some point he may consider coming in just to give him a different look, but he's trying to work him away.
Yeah, here he comes, it looks like. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Garcia leads off first. There he goes. Pitch is tapped up the third baseline, foul.
Wow, pretty aggressive decision on Don Mattingly's part with the way Patrick Bailey throws the ball. Now, Walker is very long to the plate, so he's a guy that you can run on.
He got a good jump too.
But I do like the aggressiveness. Why not? Stay out of the double play at the very least. Again, if he happens to hit a line drive right at somebody, it'll end the ball game, but I'm okay with the aggressiveness.
He goes again. Pitch is lined down the right field line. It is a fair ball going to the corner. Garcia's around third. He's going to tie this baby up. Stott's going to go to third. RBI triple. It's a 2-2 game.
And do I love this. That's huge for Bryson Stott, who has been struggling some, and he finally, after battling, he gets one of those sinkers that is up in the zone and out over the plate, and he smokes it down the right field line, and with Adolis Garcia running on the pitch, he scores very easily, and Phillies have tied this thing up, one hit away from winning it.
Yeah, now the infield is in for Sosa, and he hits it back toward the middle. Stott holds it third, and they throw to first. 2 outs. Sound like he broke his bat on that.
I do have to say, a little surprised they didn't go on contact, but again, when you got Crawford who can get on base in a lot of different ways, maybe it puts a little bit more pressure on the pitcher here, especially with Chapman having to play shallow in case he bunts.
Crawford has 2 hits today. He's already won 1 game this year. And he hits that one the opposite way. Backhanded by Adames. The throw is not in time! The Phillies have walked it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Stott scores the game winner. Crawford with his 2nd walk-off hit of the year. And they win it 3-2. And they have finally won a series.
Wow, just a couple of tremendous at-bats from those left-handers. Bryson Stott with a big triple to tie it up, and then Crawford using his speed to win this ball game. Just an outstanding effort by the boys, putting the ball in play and making it happen. Crawford using his abilities to win this ball game, and boy, that is pretty exciting for this young man.
Yeah, our Chevrolet player of the game, Justin Crawford. Hey, give a tip of the cap to a couple other guys today, too. Christopher Sanchez, 6 2/3, and also Chase Sugar getting that last out in the 9th inning. It was huge. Second walk-off win of the year for the Phils, and it's the second time it was Crawford that provided the spark.
Well, you just gotta love it. Look at the boys; they're excited about
Big
that
time.
one.
Well, that was awesome on so many levels. Well, first of all, they needed it because they needed to win a series. And, you know, you battle all day long. You got a day-night doubleheader. To be able to win game 1 of that day-night doubleheader makes everything else seem so much better.
Yeah, nothing like a big comeback win when you had your starting pitcher throw the ball so well, not being able to score runs for him and being able to get him off the hook by scoring late and winning this ball game in the first of a doubleheader.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is that, you know, baseball is sometimes an unforgiving game. Bryson Stott's at-bat was one of the best at-bats of the afternoon, that last one to get the triple.
Sure was. He had a not as great an at-bat earlier in the game in the 4th inning. He had an opportunity to drive some runs in with a punch-out, but then he redeems himself with a huge base hit triple down the right field line in a tough at-bat.
Justin Crawford joins us down on the field. Hey, dude, these are, I like this. This is the second one we've had for you today. Give me an idea of how important bat on ball skills were in that particular spots.
I think very important. Just trying to go up there.
You deserve that one.
It felt good though. Just trying to get up there, get a good pitch to hit. And thankfully, I was able to kind of find a hole right there.
Yeah, Justin, you got a bunt base hit earlier in the game. And it's something you've been working on a little bit more as of late, or is that just something that you wanted to continue to incorporate into your game?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I'm always kind of practicing and working on. And, you know, whenever they try to get me, whenever I have an opportunity to be able to lay one down, if the third baseman's back or if he's over, you know, I always try to kind of implement that and do that. So felt good being able to get it down. I know that was my first one of the season. But let's keep it rolling.
So you had a couple of hits after that. Now, do you feel like you see the ball a little bit better because of it? Because when I was in that situation and tried to lay one down later on in the game, I felt like I saw the ball better for whatever reason.
Yeah, I do. I even just in practice, I even just bunting, and I always feel like I kind of bunt a couple, and then after that, I kind of see the ball better for whatever reason. I feel like really getting my face down in there helps me see it. So yeah, just something I always have to stay on top of. I'm glad we're able to kind of pull off with that one tonight.
Give me an idea of what it's like running down that right field line and just turning and seeing your teammates sort of come after you like that.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Just being able to see that with guys come out, man, it's something that's really special. And just hoping we can build on that from there.
Hey, let's build on it for game 2. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Yeah, Justin Crawford, our guest. Outstanding for the Phillies to come from behind and win this one and win the series, which they obviously have had a tough time doing.
Yeah, it's huge. Great effort by a lot of guys today, and a good pitching effort by Christopher Sanchez and the bullpen as well.
Chase Sugar gets his first win in a Phillies uniform. Don't go anywhere. The crossover brought to you by Toyota is coming up. We got a lot to talk about, so stay with us.
You'll get more ways to make it yours during Spring Backyard Days, now through May 6th at the Home Depot.
Well, nothing better than a celebratory dousing after a ball game when you win it your last at-bat. That's what the Phillies did. They got a great at-bat by Bryson Stott, a triple that brought home Adolis Garcia, and then Justin Crawford. What did Rob Thompson used to say to us? If you move the infielder 2 or 3 feet from your left to your right, Justin Crawford may beat it out, and that's exactly what he did.
That is what he did, and that's his game. And there's no reason for him to be lifting the baseball. I know that a lot of people want everybody to hit the ball in the air and drive the ball out of the ballpark, but that's not his game. And he stayed with his game, and that was the reason why the Phillies won this ball game.
Yeah, our crossover brought to you by Toyota. We go across the street to Ben Davis, who is watching in the studio. Ben, these kind of wins can do so much for a team. It's staggering to think that the Phillies haven't won a series since the first week in April, but now they've won this one, and it's these kind of wins. They're 1-19 after trailing in the 8th inning coming into today.
Yeah, you love to see them get it done in the later innings. Obviously, the 9th inning against a really tough closer in Walker, but these guys battled. I was just so happy to see, you know, we always talk about a game of adjustments, how Bryson Stott, he was late on every pitch that at bat, and I think he just sold out on a fastball, got one in his liking, and shot in the right field line to tie the ball game up. But That's what I like to see, these adjustments being made. Obviously, Crawford coming up, getting that done. 78.8 off the bat. It's not how hard you hit him, it's where you hit him. But, hey, listen, we'll take it any day of the week. It's a good win for the boys.
Yeah, with his sprint speed up that first base line, I mean, he moved the feet, and it gave him a chance to win this ball game. So that's game one. Let's hope game two has the same kind of ending for the Phils. They win it 3-2. We got so much more coming up, including game two, which will begin at 5:30. But don't go anywhere. Phillies postgame live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, is coming up. Michael and Ben are standing by, and then we'll see you at 5:30 Eastern Time for game number two. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody. Enjoy a quick meal, and we'll see you later on. And he hits that one the opposite way. Backhanded by Adames. The throw is not in time. The Phillies have walked it off here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Stott scores the game winner. Crawford with his second walk-off hit of the year. And they win it 3-2. And they have finally won a series.
A textbook ninth inning, down to their last out, sends the Phillies to a 3-2 bottom of the ninth win over the San Francisco Giants. They needed it. They get their first series win since the beginning of the month. And how about Justin Crawford? He starts April 1st, no fooling, with a walk-off hit, and he finishes the month with a walk-off hit as well. We welcome you to Post Game Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkann, and we welcome those of you watching on NBC 10 who watch the game on NBC 10, and of course our friends on NBC Sports Philadelphia as well. We're going to have the second game also. Now they have the chance to sweep this doubleheader, sweep the San Francisco Giants. They've now won, Benny, 3 out of their last 4 games. My goodness, Don Mattingly for Manager of the Year, Ben. Too much? Too much. Okay, go ahead. What do you think?
It's a great win. What else can you say? Some situational hitting that was just poor earlier in the game, but they were able to rally and get it done. And what they were able to get it done with the bottom of the lineup. That's what you'd like to see. Adolis Garcia starting it off, and then Stott getting it done, and obviously with Crawford. But the bullpen was great. Sanchez was outstanding. Other than that first inning, Christopher Sanchez was phenomenal. No hit stuff. After that first inning, he was outstanding. The fastball was good. The changeup had great depth to it this afternoon. It was just a good. Banks came in. Sugar came in and did his job. So all around, great team win. Webb goes out in that first inning, gives up the home run to Kyle Schwarber. And after that, he said, you know what? You're not hurting me anymore. I'm just going to walk you every time. I mean, they're the most intentional walks I've ever seen. But that's the way it goes. But the bottom line is they got it done.
They got it done. Take a look at the ninth inning one more time. It was so sweet. And it began with Adolis Garcia with a 2-1 deficit by the Phillies. And he leads off with a wrap up the middle, Ben. And not in time. Pulled the first baseman off the bag, and he's safe at first.
He's safe at first, and then Marsh gets rung up on a questionable pitch. Was right at the bottom of the zone.
You got to swing at that, don't you?
You got to pull the trigger.
Come on, Brandon Marsh. Let's go.
And Stott, this is what I was talking about during the crossover. He just sells out on this fastball. He had been late on every pitch in that at-bat. Went out outside the zone on the outside corner a couple times. But he lived to see another pitch. He just got it started a little bit earlier, got a pitch to his liking, and rifled it down the line for a triple. He's fired up, and why wouldn't he be?
Tie game, 1 out, 90 feet away from the game win, and a nice shot by Bryson Stott. And you talk about hit them where they ain't. They were all shaded over to left, and he put it right field line. And here comes Adolis Garcia to tie up the game, and you knew right then and there they had a great chance. And then a ground out right here by Edmundo Sosa. First pitch, Ben. Come on, take one.
Like I said, the situational hitting was not ideal today, but Crawford picks his teammate up here, and he just hits it down to the left side. 78.8 miles an hour off the bat, but it doesn't matter. It's a game winner.
This is where the speed comes in. Surprised that they did not walk Crawford to get to Marchand, who was at .085 batting average.
Well, they probably would have pinch hit for Marchand, but, they never got there. So it is what it is. I think Alec Boehm had his helmet and his batting gloves on. I think he would have been the guy to take that at bat from Marchand, but we don't need that. We don't need to ever wonder that ever again because the game is over. and Crawford is a hero, and why wouldn't he be? Three hits on the day.
Justin Crawford walks it off April 1st, walks it off April 30th as the Phillies get their second straight win, going for a series win and sweep. They got the series win, but they're going for the sweep later this afternoon, and it's exciting. The one thing we've always said about this team, doesn't always mean wins. It did today. They never quit. They are down to the last at bat, and you don't know what will happen with the Phils.
Yeah, and you look at a ball club that is 11-19 now, and you're saying, it's just one win. One win right now to this ball club means the world to them, and hopefully they can get another one later on today because they're paid to win ball games, and that's what they were able to do early in the first game of this doubleheader. But you can see the enthusiasm of these guys, how they all definitely are pulling for each other. I mean, these guys it looked like they just won the 7th game of the World Series. But that's, these guys get paid to win, and they won a game today. They're happy about it, and listen, this is the first time they won a series in an awful long time. So it was nice to see, and hopefully they can go out and get another one this afternoon.
And when you think about the box score, you think, well, what did they have? 3 hits, 4 hits? They had 10 hits today. So they were getting on base via the hit, but they weren't scoring the runs at least until the 9th inning.
No, and in case in point, you go back to that 4th inning. After the 4th inning, the Phillies had 6 hits and just the 1 run, and that came on the home run from Schwarber. But the situational hitting, again, was not good. In that particular inning, 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and did not score a run. So, it seemed to be what we're seeing a lot of from this offense to start this year, 30 games into April. But, we'll see what happens as they move forward. But they got to get better situationally.
They sure do. PGW presents Eye on the mound, and the starting pitcher today, the ace of the staff, at least until Zach Wheeler gets up and running, is Christopher Sanchez. First inning, and as good as he was later in the game, first pitch right here, that's a double, right off the bat to Ramos. Yeah. And that was surprise. I didn't think this was going to start the game.
Well, I mean, you're going to get first pitch of the game. I'd be swinging against Sanchez as well. That ball, 108.3 off the bat. Chapman comes up. It's a fly ball to right field. Ball just kept carrying.
Yeah.
I just didn't think that ball had enough to get off the fence. Nothing Garcia could do. And that's 2nd and 3rd, and then you got Arise coming up, who is one of the best bat-to-ball skills guys in all the game. He does 2 things here. One, he scores the runner. That's an RBI for him. And he advances Chapman from 2nd to 3rd with less than 2 outs. So very good situational hitting there by the Giants' second baseman.
And then Schmidt right here to left field, and it's 2-0 before people are in their seats.
We hadn't even gotten our food yet, Michael, and it was 2-0. So it was after that, man.
He settled down, Ben.
This guy
settled down
awesome.
and became the Sanchez we expect.
Yeah, 6 2/3 innings, just 85 pitches, 57 for strikes. And that changeup went to a different level. I mean, it was just phenomenal. He had 9 swings and misses, 52% sinkers today, just 14% slider, but 34% changeups. It just kept getting better as the day went on. I mean, he had the ability to make it go down almost like a split or feather it away to some of these righties. I mean, this guy just knows how to pitch, and it's almost like he just flipped the switch after that first inning. He took advantage of their aggressiveness and was able to get quick early outs. He was phenomenal after that first inning.
Christopher Sanchez gives up just 4 hits today, and we were talking about him in the pregame program, how while his ERA was fairly low, he had been giving up hits, including 30-plus hits in his last 4 appearances, last 4 starts. That was not the case today. 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, just 3 walks in 85 pitches, and ERA goes from 2.94 to 2.90. Were you surprised, if not disappointed, that he was removed in the 7th after 85 pitches?
Yeah, Helio Ramos had some good at-bats against him earlier in the ball game. He had a couple hits off him. I guess they figured, you know what, we're not going to let this guy, it's a 1-run ball game right now. We're not going to let this guy jump ship and make it a 2-run ball game if given the opportunity. So they went out and got him. And it's, I guess it's understandable. I personally would have left him in there because I trust Christopher Sanchez against anybody. I don't care what you have done in previous bats. But,
Here's the 7th inning, Ben.
It is.
And strikes out Bailey.
And then you got Ramos coming up, and he was not happy with the Phillies southpaw.
Here's the thing.
And I understand. I get it. Donnie Baseball says, you know what, I'd love to keep you in there, but this is more of a matchup thing right now. You see him shaking his head. Not happy.
Yeah, that's a head shake of disgust. Like, come on, man, you're not entrusting me with what I can do to bring it home here and close out that inning. Here comes Kirkring, And he does the job, to be sure.
Yeah, does a fine job. Gets a fly ball here. Kirk's been throwing the ball extremely well, so they figured, go out and get him. They're using him an awful lot, too, Michael B.
Yeah. Just to make clear, he gave up 4 hits today, Christopher Sanchez. 3 of them were in the first inning. So just 1 hit allowed after. So even though Ramos tapped him in the first, maybe you stick around and hang with him in the 7th.
Yeah, and you think, well, why didn't he leave him in there? And Christopher Sanchez has every right to be upset and ticked off that he comes out of the ball game. Think about it. He only gets to play once every 5th day, so I'd be ticked off too. So, but I understand where he's coming from, but I think he's earned that right, obviously, with the way he's thrown the baseball the last few years. So, I want that in my player, to be honest with you, Michael. I want to see that kind of fire, that kind of, hey, man, this is my game. I don't want to leave it to somebody else. And so, again, I think he's earned that right, but Donnie Mattingly didn't really agree with me, I guess.
Speaking of Donnie Mattingly, let's hear what the new skipper has to say about today's win and removing Christopher Sanchez from the game in the 7th.
Out there on Tuesday, to have the fight that you did today, what can that do for the morale of the clubhouse as you guys try to chip away at this hole?
Well, in general, our morale's good. So guys are playing. Another, like you said, clean game. We knew we had our hands full with their guy tonight. Today. He's really good, and so we knew we were going to have to fight for our runs. Thought the Schwarb homer was huge to be able to just, kind of punch right back to put us always with, we're in striking distance with one pitch. And then Sanchi, for me, just kind of bowed his head and kept us in the game. So.
Rough at bat in the 4th inning there with 2 runners in scoring position. How badly do you think he needs that hit in the 9th there? I think it's kind of a beat for you.
Well, I think it always feels good when you're able to come through and do that in the 9th, especially I'm sure he was beating himself up. He expected to be able to get that run in I think it was the 4th, right? So yeah, obviously good for him to be able to do that. I think he just kept fighting and kept making pitches. I don't really look at the video much during the game. Caleb said he was struggling getting the ball where he wanted to with righties and things like that. So, for me, you just got to keep fighting. There's days you're not going to be perfect, but I mean that's a pretty good outing when a guy gives up 2 in the first and is able to come back like that and keep us in the game and keep giving us chances.
Crawford's second walk-off hit. He started off hot, then he's kind of going through a rough stretch. What have you kind of made of what you've seen from him so far this season?
What I like about Craw, he's a good kid, number one, and I think he believes in himself. Obviously, we believe in him, or he wouldn't be here. And I really think in that stretch in there, teams start making a few adjustments with him and doing some things differently. And that's the way the game's going to go for a young guy. He's getting his hits, and they're going to start paying attention and start trying to do different things to him. And I see him making adjustments, right, and staying within his game. And really, I didn't think his at-bats were bad even during the stretch that he wasn't getting his hits. So we saw him in terms of still having good at-bats, still battling, not looking different. Like sometimes you'll see a young guy, all of a sudden he's dragging his head and things like that. And we haven't seen that.
What went into your decision to lift Sanchez at 85 and Ramos had hit him, but there were 2 outs there? And I don't think Sanchez looked maybe a little upset coming off.
Yeah, that's one thing about guys being upset. I'm never, doing this long enough. Guys are competitive and they want to stay in the game. So we felt like it was the right spot not to let anything get started. Ramos and Chappie have been swinging the bat really good against left-handed pitching. And I know I went Banks back in there later, but it's a different mix with him, and just pitches a little differently than Sanchi does. So I felt confident with Banks there. And also knowing we got 2 games, we can't just empty the bullpen today with every guy we got out there. Tried to match up best we can within the score of the game and in the situation that we're in. So we felt like I wanted to give Kirk 2 chances there with the righty. Then you get him and then you get Chappie. I didn't want to let anything get going.
Have you had a chance to come up with a pitching plan for tonight, and how do you feel about your bullpen availability with the relievers you used in Game 1?
No, we feel good. We're in a pretty good spot. Obviously, we played 2 games, and we're not just going to throw guys out there multiple games if they've thrown a ton of pitches. We're going to start Mesa the second game, and it will be a bullpen game.
It's been a while for this team.
Game 2's a bullpen game, says Don Mattingly. Phillies win it 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth. NBC 10 friends, we're going to leave you in the very capable hands of Jacqueline London and Fred Shropshire as NBC 10 News at 4 will begin in just a moment. And those of you watching on NBC Sports Philadelphia, we will continue to talk about this great Phillies win. More interviews and analysis in a moment. This was electrifying. A Toyota electrifying moment, and steps to the plate, Mr. Justin Crawford. And just to make clear to you, on April 1st against Washington, walk-off hit in 10 innings. How about this walk-off hit scoring Bryson Stott, Ben Davis? 2-2 tie, 3-2 Phillies win.
Yeah, 3 for 4 on the day for Crawford. The batting average up to 267. It's his 5th RBI of the season, and he couldn't have picked a better time to get it done. But man, just to be able to run like that, I would love to know what that feels like, Michael D.
Me too.
Just once in my life.
We could try it. I'd have my hamstrings over there. Would not work very well. But
They'd still be in the batter's box?
It still would. You put it in the perfect spot when you've got that kind of speed, and you heard what Tom McCarthy said to Ruben about Topper's suggestion. You get a guy shaded 3 feet one way or the other, and Crawford hits it in the right spot. He's on first base.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, this is huge for the Phillies. I know he's a young guy and batting in the 8th spot today, but just really getting it done, and that's just awesome to watch, to see that. These guys are excited, and they should be, because the wins have been few and far between this year. So it's nice to see them secure that first W of the day. I said first W of the day.
First W of the day. You know what? We're not taking just one. We want this. The standard is what the standard is, and it ebbs and flows depending on the season. And they are in a period of time, your Philadelphia Phillies, where our expectations are that they at least make the playoffs, if not go to the World Series. And that's what the expectation remains, even at 10 and 19 or 11 and 19. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So playoffs are bust.
Yeah, I'm with you. And this is, I think, if you were to poll all those guys in that clubhouse and you say, "Oh, you won the series," I bet you to a man they would say, "I don't care. We don't care. We got to worry about the next game." And that's the attitude they should have. They should worry about their next W and when they're going to get that next W, because they got to start stacking W's up. Yeah, that's for sure.
It would be their first sweep of the season with a win in game number 2. And again, we're coming up at 5 o'clock with the pregame show. Maybe we'll just go right into the pregame show.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I will not do that. But here's the thing. They scored in the bottom of the first to go 2-1. Kyle Schwarber gets his 10th home run of the season. He's on pace for 54 home runs, Ben. When I looked at this and I'm thinking, okay, this is not going to be a problem. You're back in it right away, and then that's all they got. What a blast.
Yeah, you can't tell me that ball only went 406.
Yeah.
There's no way. That wasn't the second deck. It was 113 off the bat. Look, I'll just hit this one out with one arm. I don't need both my arms. I'm just going to hit one out with one arm. No big deal.
That is a milestone home run for Kyle Schwarber, the 350th home run of his illustrious career, and it put the Phillies 2-1 down after the first inning, and you think we got a lot of road coming up, plenty of time to get back in the game. Didn't think it was going to come with the stop sign ahead, but it rode out, but it did.
Yeah, and I thought Webb was okay today. I didn't think he was great. You're definitely going to get a lot of pitches to hit with him on the mound, but I was very surprised that the Phillies had 13 swings and misses against Webb, who is a contact pitcher. He was sitting at 92, 93 with the sinker and the four-seamer, so not overpowering stuff, but he does have good late life to that sinker, and some guys are swinging over it. But for the most part, Phillies had some pitches to hit today. They just weren't able to take advantage.
All right, take a look at inside the box score. And as mentioned, it looked like the Phillies were a light-hitting bunch today, but they did get 10 hits. Culminating in 3 runs scored, 3-2. They win it today. Turner 0 for 4. We talked pregame about how he's been hitting with 3 strikeouts. Didn't happen for him today. Schwarber with the home run. Harper 1 for 4. Wouldn't you like to see him take some more pitches?
Yeah,
a little bit.
And that's something he alluded to in spring training, saying he wants to walk 130 to 140 times a year, take some more pitches. But he was uber aggressive today. I think it was one of those things where you kind of know what Webb's going to attack you with. Sinkers down and away, and he just say, you know what, I'm going to try and get one up here. But he was extremely aggressive today, early in counts, and unfortunately hit himself into a couple double plays.
Bryson Stott 1 for 4 today. But that one, my goodness, it paved the way for a Phillies win this afternoon. Here's Stott outside the Phillies clubhouse.
His stuff is like, you don't see that very often in that arm angle, and how much his sinker and stuff was moving, and he's got a really good sweeper, so it was kind of in the back of my head, and never got there. So
what did a hit like that do for your confidence?
Yeah, just obviously believing you can do it, and especially after the event earlier in the game, and when you have a guy like Sanchi out there doing what he's doing, you obviously want to come through, not only for the team but especially him, and didn't get it done, and just tried to flush it as fast as possible, and I'm glad I came up and was able to tie the game there in the end.
For the team to overcome the start that it's had, how key is it to win games like today, where you get the effort from Sanchez, Schwarber hits 350 home run, not kind of waste moments or efforts like that?
Yeah, we've said for 5 years now that you got to be able to win the slugfests and the close games, and I think we've done good at that the last several years, is winning those 1-0, 2-1, and just to build confidence again in there that we don't have to score 10 every night, and we have 5 aces, and the guys that come in from the bullpen are going to hold it there, and we know we'll get going, and that's been big.
What kind of adjustments are you trying to make at the plate to kind of pull yourself out of the slow start?
Yeah, I feel like my swing in itself has been where it was in spring and last year, and hitting the ball harder than I ever have, and squaring up the ball a lot more, and it's just going at people and things like that. So I would say mechanically, not trying to change anything. Maybe I scoot up in the box or scoot back, or something small that might get me more on time than I have been. So been pretty early on kind of every pitch before or now, which I've never done in the past. So maybe scooting up in the box and making pitches speed up or something like that. But just not trying to change too much, because I feel like my swinging itself has been pretty good.
What about approach-wise? Because I know sometimes in the spring you talked about like just giving up, going the opposite way or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember what you said in the spring, but you talked a lot about your approach and just kind of changing it, I guess. Have you kind of gotten away from some things that worked for you late last year?
I don't think so, which is why I'm kind of out in front of a lot of things. I can't remember that I've ever hit this many fastballs off the end of my bat and things like that. So I wouldn't say I'm thinking left field, maybe more left center, and just trusting my hands are fast enough to get to anything in and go from there.
I know you're not looking back when Crawford hits that ball to the 5-6 hole. Did you think he had a shot there just because of how fast he is?
Yeah, he always has a shot. I was just hoping Chappie didn't field it, and because that would have been the guy to get him, just with how he hit it and stuff. So I think Adames made a pretty good play. He's just fastest ever. So.
Bryson Stott on his game-tying triple, saying you've got to be able to win slugfests and close games. We don't have to score 10 every night. Goodness knows that's true. And he says also he's hitting the ball harder than he ever has. Love to hear that. What's Justin Crawford have to say? We'll hear from him in a moment. For the 2 and 2-19 is Justin Crawford, because he got the 2 walk-off hits on April 1st and April 30th to get the Phillies those 2 wins. They got to do more of that. And then more to it. Presented by Chapman Auto Stores. Get more at every Chapman Auto Store. But what's more, Ben? You know there's always more to it. And there's more to this situation. Bryson Stott
rifles this ball down the right field line. And again, just nice to see him get started on that fastball that had beaten him earlier in that at bat, but he speeds it up here and ties the ball game up. Garcia scoring the game-tying run. Garcia himself had a fine day as well, a couple of hits up the middle, but you love to see this here. And I love the fact that Don Mattingly put Garcia in motion. When you're not scoring runs, you gotta find other ways to manufacture runs. He said, you know what? I don't care if I line out here into a double play to end the ball game. I got to get some motion going, put some guys in motion. It pays off here for the Phillies.
Yeah, I love what Bryson Stott said during his media availability, which was, hey, win by any means necessary. We don't need to score 10 runs a night. And unfortunately, they're not coming close to that. Can they win overall throughout the season when they're scoring 3-4 runs per game?
Well, they have to score more runs than that, Michael. But can they? Yeah, they can. This bullpen, I think, they hit it kind of a lull there during that losing streak. But I think this bullpen is starting to shape up a lot more. And they're going to get Duran back soon. So that's going to be huge for them as well to be that closer at the end of the ball games. But, you know, they're going to have to do an awful lot of things right if they're only scoring 3 or 4 runs a game.
By the way, the Mets just lost to Washington, which means the Phillies are one step out of the basement. Ben, are you kidding? This is great news.
Silver lining, Michael.
This is a silver line. They're on their way. Okay, let's take a look at Next Level, presented by Ocean Casino Resort. Now, tell me the truth. Logan Webb. I mean, this guy, I know what his history is, but he hasn't pitched that well this season, at least by his ERA. They made this guy look like Walter Johnson, for goodness sakes.
Well, he did have a good sinker today. I'll give him that. But he threw that sinker 48% of the time. Mix that with a four-seamer 10%. That's 58% fastballs. And this is a ball club that's supposed to be a good fastball hitting ball club. Just not able to square a whole lot up today. There you see Harper there. You just cannot try to hold this guy. Yeah.
How about first pitch? Take one.
I talked before earlier in the pregame show. If you're a left-handed hitter and you try and pull this guy, you're asking for 4 3s or 3 1s all day long. And that's what we saw out of him, out of this lineup for the most part. Turner didn't have it today. You know, there's a change up there at 85. Webb was good, but bottom line is he still gave these guys pitches to hit. But, you know, sometimes the Phillies went fishing. It is what it is. 6 Ks on the day for Webb, 2 walks, just a 1 earned run, and that was a titanic blast by Schwarber.
Yeah. Logan Webb, by the way, you never see Logan Webb and actor Jesse Plemons in the same place at the same time. It just does not happen, you know. But here's what he did today. 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, an earned run, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, 92 pitches. And now that ERA, which came in at 4.86, is down to 4.30. What's more, his ERA coming in against the Phillies was over 6. So that's what makes it frustrating, because the Phillies had done it against him in the past over 3 starts by Logan Webb.
Yeah, they just weren't able to see the ball up today against Webb, and that's one thing that you got to do against a guy that throws a lot of sinkers. You got to make him elevate the baseball. Obviously, easier said than done, Michael B., but the Phillies not able to do that this afternoon. But they still get the W. That's all that matters.
I know one thing. We're big. This show is big in the Phillies clubhouse, as you well know. And I want the Phillies to know we believe in you guys. We think you can get out of this hole. We think you can win the whole thing. It's all possible. It's right there in front of you, okay? Or maybe they have cartoons on. I don't know. But we're hoping that this thing keeps going up. How about Justin Crawford with a big hit to win the game today? Here he is outside the clubhouse.
I felt good. Felt really good. Just to be able to get the win today, make it two in a row. And yeah, definitely felt really good though to kind of get that going again.
Hit that ball in the 5-6 hole. Did you think you beat it?
Yeah, I hit it and I knew right away. Okay, that's a hit. Dawn talked a lot about yesterday, like getting back to your game, using the bunt to, help you put pressure on the defense. You did it today. You feel like you're getting back in the swing of things, keeping pressure on the defense, bringing the shift in a little more. Yeah, definitely. Something I kind of try to stay on, even like in my work, staying on my bunting and stuff. But yeah, Donnie kind of reminded me, like, play your game, go out there, play hard, get on really any way you can. Kind of reminded me, so go out there and just scrap, fight, try to get on base.
Don said the bunt was your call. Is that something you want to bring back into your game a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, whenever they give me the opportunity to do it, I'm always kind of watching the third baseman, first baseman, and saw he kind of backed up a little bit. So I was like, all right, might not be a bad time.
How different is the art of trying to steal bag in the majors, getting a read, getting it right secondarily? Is that something you're still kind of trying to learn or maybe adjust to in the majors?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a little bit. Just got to be more precise. making sure I'm picking good times when to go, good counts, and of course getting a good jump. But yeah, getting more comfortable with it more and more I go, and always learning from what I'm safer out.
What have you kind of learned about yourself this first month? You started out hot and then kind of had a little rough patch there. What have you learned about your game or yourself going through this month?
Yeah, I think staying within my approach, not trying to do too much. I think at times, especially maybe when things aren't going your way, you want to try to do too much, try to hit the ball too hard, just do stuff that just isn't my game. But I think getting back to me, staying in the moment, not trying to do too much, and just trying to find any way I can to help the team win. At least for me in my career, that's always normally helped me get things rolling with the bat whenever I just go out there and just play carefree and just try to get on and help any way I can.
Obviously, you guys are always trying to win, but based on the way this month has gone, how much do you sense you guys really needed to win this game so you could win consecutive games for the first time in almost a month?
Just taking it one game at a time. I don't think we were even really thinking about we need to win this game, but just taking it going into the day, like let's win a game, and then second game, let's win that game. One game at a time, one at bat at a time. That's kind of at least my MO, trying to just control what you can control, one more at a time.
Piggybacking off.
You controlled it, Justin Crawford. The outcome of today's game with that infield single to short. Phillies win it 3-2. More interviews coming up. More analysis from Ben Davis. We're going to get you set for Game 2. We got a 5 o'clock pregame live, and then 5:30 is first pitch as the Phillies try to sweep their first series of the season.